Hi everyone, this is Puneet Sandhu, aka The Tank. I welcome you all to the Tank Varsity. Today we are going to discuss one of the most alpha movements we do in the gym, which is deadlifts. I said one of the most alpha movements because I would definitely place squats over a deadlift, which we're going to discuss some other day. Now I'm going to let you know everything one needs to take care of whenever we go about doing a deadlift. We'll be having a few points to be discussed here. One of them will be the feet placement, how forward or how backward the feet needs to be placed. Number two, how far apart the feet needs to be placed. Number three, the hand grip. Again, how narrow or how wide your palm grip needs to be, and what kind of a grip you need to have for the palms. There are few ways to do those also. Where to place your hips, how to engage your core, how to keep your shoulders, and how to keep your spine absolutely intact so that we can, get maximum force out of it. So I am right now at the phase 5 branch of Tank's gym, and this is the deadlift corner we have over here, and this is written whatever it takes, because this is what our tagline is. Whatever it takes, we don't give up around here. The Tanks, they never give up. So this is a very motivating thing. And now I'm going to let you know the first point. One needs to know how forward or backward your feet needs to be placed whilst you are doing a deadlift. So basically, I would suggest you to be wearing a lifting shoe. If not a lifting shoe, something like this, which is absolutely flat. But you can also do it bare feet. I personally prefer bare feet. I would not want you to see the ugly pair of feet that I have. So this is how it needs to be. Whenever you place your feet doing a deadlift, you need to place it right under the bar. So the bar needs to exactly almost bisect your feet. It should be kind of, whilst you are standing over the bar, you need to be absolutely be able to count your toes, all the 10 toes. Or if you are Hrithik Roshan, probably 11. So this is one point. And if you are wearing shoes, if you are not barefoot, you need to be able to see your shoelaces. It should be absolutely, kind of visible to you. So unless you are not a very weird kind of a human, for that to happen, it should be around 1 inch from the bar that I am standing. This is approximately 1 inch, as you can see. So this is where I would want you to be placing your feet. This is how much forward it needs to be. So the number 2 point you need to be sure about is how far apart your feet needs to be between themselves. So I would suggest it needs to be something as far apart as your hips are. So if you are a little narrower person, a smaller person, it could be fine for somebody like this. For someone a little bigger person than me, I consider myself a tank, and I have got like good legs, I would say, and broader hips. So it is very comfortable for me to be this much apart, the feet. It all depends upon your own build. If you are a bigger guy with bigger hips, it could be a little wider. For a narrower person, it could be a little narrower. That's that. Now we'll go to the third point. So the next thing which needs to be taken care of, how you want to place your palms onto the bar. That can be done in probably 3 ways. One can be an overhand grip, which is the pronated grip, matlab aise, like hooks. Now somebody who doesn't have a very good grip strength, or when the weight gets really, really heavy, you can only increase your grip strength so much. And so a lot of people like to do it in a mixed way. So mixed way would be one palm would be pronated, one would be supinated. So one would be a overhand grip, one would be a inverted grip, something like this. So that is also a correct way. There are no wrong ways to do it. This is something like how you handle a cricket bat or a baseball bat. So if the thing is getting slipped, if the bar is getting rolled, with this hand it will begin to compensate that thing. So this is actually a very good way to make sure the bar is not getting slipped once you are kind of lifting, and because that is actually very, very irritating, and that can really spoil the whole lift. So first was this, second was a mixed grip. Now there is a third grip which probably most of the very advanced pro lifters use it. It is a under thumb grip, something like this. A under thumb grip. This is also a way to do it. Now when you do a under thumb grip, I personally would suggest, if you are really a very advanced lifter and you have been doing this, you are comfortable with this, go for it, no qualms about it. But this is actually, one can really snap your thumb if you don't do it correctly. So if at all you need to do this, it should not be done like this. It needs to be done from here, from where the nail starts, from where your first kind of count of numbers is. So it should be like this. It absolutely cannot be like this. If you do it like this, I'm very sure you are gonna end up snapping your thumb, which is not a good idea. You don't want to be four-fingered, you don't want to be a eklavya. So this is a good way to do it if it is comfortable for you. And so that's that about the palms placing onto the bar. So the next point would be how far apart or how narrow your palms need to be placed onto the bar. So for that, I would say wherever your feet is placed, which is, as I suggested, it needs to be right, as wide as your hips are. Your palm should be absolutely a little outer to your feet. Where your feet is placed, just a little outer to your feet, somewhere here. So it should not be very wide. If it is very wide, that is also not a good idea, because if you are placing your arms very wide, that would actually kind of shorten the reach of your arm. So if you have shortened the reach of your arms, it will make you go deeper. It will make you, of course, it will make you go deeper to reach the bar. I hope it makes it very clear. The wider your arms are, the more deep you need to go, and for that to happen, it will actually make you work a little bit more. The distance traveled would be more for the bar to go up, and that is only going to make it even more difficult. So the other thing would be, if your palms are faced a little narrower to what I suggested. If it is narrower, there will be a hindrance to, basically your arms are going to be touching your knees, which is actually going to make your arms, your elbow into a kind of a flexion. Now if your arms are in flexion, your biceps are going to come into play. And once your biceps get into play, of course, when the weight is very heavy, there is a lot of chance that you can kind of snap your biceps, which actually happens a lot. A lot of people get a bicep tear doing a deadlift, which is actually very sad to happen, because it is very painful also. It also disrupts the shape of the bicep. The whole idea of arms is just to make, the whole idea of bicep is just to make the arm look very pretty, But if you have a kind of a snapped bicep, it looks very horrible, and it, of course, kills the aesthetics also, and it is very painful, of course. So make sure your palms are not too widely placed. They are not too narrowly placed. They are just a little away from where your feet is placed. So basically, now that we are very clear where to place the feet, how much forward, backward, how much wider, how your grip should be, how far apart, how narrow. Now we have gotten into everything which needs to be done. Now the main point is the execution now. I'm going to let you know how to actually execute and how to go about doing a deadlift from the starting to the end position. So if I were to break it down, it would be basically 3 movements happening. The first movement is going to be when you raise the bar from the dead till up to your knees. So this movement let's just concentrate on just this one part of the movement. Now this movement is basically only kind of a leg press happening. When you are doing this, just imagine that you are pushing the ground, and just imagine yourself doing a leg press only. So make sure your hips are absolutely hinged. They are hinged. It's a hinge movement. Basically what we do maybe in a RDL or something. So it's a hinge movement. All we are doing is just a leg press, just pushing the ground and making yourself the bar travel up to your knees. So ये इतनी ही movement है. So if I were to explain why it is a leg press, just imagine myself doing this. Now imagine myself doing this whilst I am seated. See, I am just doing this. Imagine my hands are placed in a leg press. I am just like kind of, holding on to the bar, and this is all I am doing. So agar aap isko dekho, it's the same thing happening. Now here I am in a leg press. Of course I am pushing onto the platform of the leg press, but in this movement I am basically only pushing the ground. So see, it is just the same movement happening. So once your bar has traveled up to your knees, make sure the second movement is basically a hip thrust. So basically what you do is, you just bring your hips onto an extension and the bar automatically is getting raised. So from here to the end position, it is just a hip thrust happening. It is like this. You just kind of bring your hips, onto the bar, and making sure that your spine is getting erected and you are in a proper straight position. So for that to happen, just make sure your knees, your hips, your rib cage and your neck, they are all staggered as a building. So they are all in one particular plane, like a straight plane. So this is the next movement. Also there is another movement happening, which is a kind of you need to be engaging your lats whilst you are doing this. Whilst you are doing the leg press version of it, in the leg press, you need to engage your lats. Just the way we engage our lats when we do a straight arm pull downs. When you do a straight arm pull downs on a cable, this is the same thing happening. So for that to happen, make sure that your lats are getting engaged. So if your lats are engaged, it will place less brunt on your spine and on the spinal erectors. So it is going to be something like this. So my lats are definitely getting engaged. So just imagine there is a orange here, and you are trying to squeeze the orange, take the juice out of the orange. So this is a kind of analogy that I'm giving, and so that's that. So make sure the first movement where we are doing a kind of a leg press, just make sure that you go as much down. Just make sure that your shoulders are above your hips. Your hips should be, you are in this kind of a position, not this. So if your hips are above your shoulders, that is only going to make, your back is going to be in an arc position and your lumbar spine is going to get hurt, of course. So that is the worst thing you can do while doing a deadlift. So just make sure that you bring your hips absolutely down, your spine is absolutely straight and aligned with the hips, and your chest is kind of forward. It's a big chest, it's a proud chest, not something like this. It's a big chest. And also your neck is also, always remember your neck is part of your spine only. So make sure just the way the spine is absolutely straight, your neck should be aligned with it. For that to happen, make sure it is not like this. It should be like this. So your neck is absolutely aligned with the spine, and spine is aligned with the hips. Hips are down, shoulders are up. Now you are in a very, very strong position to do the lift. So I'm just going to break it down to those three movements which I said, it is going to be, the bar is going to travel like this, just like a leg press, till the knees, and from here on, and making sure that your lats are absolutely engaged. So whilst you are doing this, your lats are engaged, and then you do a hip thrust. So when you do the hip thrust, make sure your glutes are absolutely activated, and you are very strong from here, which is gonna, your hamstrings are doing the extension as well. The hips and the hamstring, they bring your hips to the forward like this, and then you are, just make sure that you are in a very strong position. Also, I've seen a lot of people do something like this, which is something like this, which is absolutely bad. You are making sure that you kind of snap your lumbar spine. You are just supposed to bring it till here. So again, I'll say, once you are here, you are packed like a tall building. सबसे ऊपर आपका shoulders हैं, and then your rib cage, and then your core, and then your gluteus, and then your knees. They're absolutely stacked, right, one above the other, so that everything is placed in one plane, and everything is making sure that the lift is getting done. So for your lats to be engaged, just make sure that your bar is actually shaving your shin. It should be that close to your shin. It should be touching your shin, because unless you do that, your lats are not gonna get engaged. So if you are this far away, there is nothing happening onto your lats. The lats are not able to actually engage themselves and contribute to the lift. So this is the worst way. Now I'm just gonna let you know the wrong way to do it, which a lot of people do. The bar is, parked quite far away from your shin. Your hips are above your shoulders, and you are in a hunch position, and you are trying to lift it. This is the worst thing. Definitely you'll end up kind of, snapping your lower back, which is not a good idea. We do deadlifts to strengthen our back, and for that matter, almost every muscle, because deadlifts recruit almost every muscle fiber in the body, from your traps to your teres major, teres minor, all the back erectors, your hips, your gluteus maximus, your hamstrings, your calves, your quadriceps, your biceps, your triceps, your lats, even the delts, everything is getting recruited, and no wonder we call it one of the most alpha movements we have in the gym. Of course, second to squat, I always say that. I think I'll wrap up the video, and I suppose we have told you everything there was to be told regarding the deadlift, and you guys do subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and keep yourself posted whenever we come up with more videos of such. And if you want me to make a particular video, kindly do comment in the comment section. I'll definitely make sure that we make videos on that, and lots of love. Thank you.